The story begins in a small southern town where Nathaniel Nate Carter, a retired African-American veteran, walks into a popular local diner. Nate, in his late 60s, is quiet and dignified, wearing a simple outfit and his old military cap. He greets the waitress politely, but the owner, a middle-aged man named Carl Benson, notices him and sneers. Carl is known for his bigoted views, but keeps them veiled under a thin layer of customer service most of the time. As Nate sits down, Carl approaches him. Instead of serving him, Carl loudly declares, "We don't serve people like you here." The other patrons freeze, the tension palpable. Nate remains calm but asks why he's being treated this way. Carl smirks. "You know why." Nate quietly stands up and leaves, his dignity intact but his heart heavy. The incident spreads through the town like wildfire. Some people sympathize with Nate, while others support Carl's actions. In the midst of it all, a young man named Jason Benson, Carl's estranged son, hears about the situation. Jason, a successful entrepreneur and a proud advocate for equality, decides to return home to confront his father. Jason visits Carl at the diner. The tension between father and son is immediate. Jason challenges Carl's behavior, but Carl dismisses him, saying he's just too soft and doesn't understand the way things are. Jason leaves, vowing to do something about the injustice. Meanwhile, Nate's backstory is revealed. A decorated war hero, he fought valiantly for his country, even saving lives of soldiers who didn't respect him due to his race. Despite everything, Nate never let bitterness consume him. He's now a mentor to young veterans and a symbol of quiet strength in the community. Jason reaches out to Nate and apologizes for his father's behavior. He proposes a bold plan to organize a community event celebrating veterans of all backgrounds, hosted at a neutral location. Nate hesitates but agrees, seeing the potential for healing. Carl catches wind of Jason's plan and mocks him publicly. He even tries to rally other business owners to boycott the event. Some join him, but others, inspired by Jason and Nate's efforts, decide to support it. The town becomes polarized. Social media buzzes with debates about racism, respect for veterans, and the future of the community. Jason's determination grows, and he invests his own resources to ensure the event's success. A local journalist, inspired by Nate's story, writes a compelling article about his life and sacrifices. The piece goes viral, drawing attention from nearby cities and even national news outlets. Carl begins to recall his own past. It's revealed that his bitterness stems from his father, who instilled hatred in him from a young age. The memories unsettle Carl, though he refuses to admit it outwardly. The event kicks off with a larger turnout than expected. Veterans of all races share their stories, and people begin to see the humanity behind the uniforms. Nate gives a powerful speech about unity, resilience, and the cost of hate. Carl shows up, uninvited, intending to disrupt the event. However, he's stopped in his tracks when he hears a young black child reading a letter from his father, a fellow soldier who served alongside Nate and credited him with saving his life. Carl's hardened exterior begins to crack. For the first time, he sees Nate as more than just a man of color, but as a human being who has given more to the country than Carl ever has. Jason confronts Carl one-on-one. He shares how Nate's story inspired him growing up and challenges his father to break the cycle of hatred for the sake of the next generation. To everyone's surprise, Carl takes the stage and offers a sincere apology to Nate and the community. He admits his wrongs and vows to change. The audience is stunned, but cautiously optimistic. The diner, once a symbol of division, becomes a hub for conversations about reconciliation. Carl begins hiring a more diverse staff and openly supports initiatives promoting equality. Nate and Carl's relationship remains strained, but they start having small, meaningful conversations. The town follows their lead, slowly mending broken relationships. Jason decides to stay in town longer to ensure the momentum doesn't fade. He collaborates with Nate on projects that empower underprivileged youth and honor veterans. Carl seeks therapy to address his deep-seated issues. The sessions reveal his fears and regrets, giving him a chance to grow. Carl organizes a scholarship fund in Nate's name for young people aspiring to serve the country. It's a gesture of gratitude and redemption. Nate receives a prestigious award for his service and contributions to the community. He humbly accepts it, emphasizing the importance of unity. Nate forgives Carl, not for Carl's sake, but to free himself from any lingering resentment. The moment is cathartic for both men. Jason's work inspires local youth, including Carl's grandchildren, who begin advocating for equality and justice in their own ways. The town becomes a model of change, attracting visitors who want to learn from its journey. Businesses thrive as the community grows closer. Carl dedicates his remaining years to undoing the harm he's caused, becoming an advocate for change. Nate's life story is documented in a book, co-written by Jason, which becomes a bestseller and inspires readers nationwide. Nate reflects on his life with pride, not because of the recognition, but because he's lived with integrity. The story culminates with the lesson that hate is learned, but so is compassion. Change is possible if people are willing to confront their prejudices and take responsibility for their actions. Nate and Carl share a quiet moment on a park bench, watching children play together, their laughter echoing a brighter future. The story ends with a community dinner at Carl's Diner, where people of all backgrounds sit together. Nate raises a toast, celebrating unity, redemption, and the power of one act to spark change.